Wow. Cheated on you the day you were married? And what is I forgot, hold on. I was drunk. I forgot we got married earlier that day. You have to be kidding me right now. That's a new one. That That's a new one. I hadn't heard that one. I've heard the whole, oh, it was an accident. I slipped and fell on his sausage and all that crazy crap. But to say I was drunk, I had no idea we got married that day. Hold on. So you're telling me, you're telling me if we didn't get married, you would, it's okay for you to cheat? She basically told on herself. She was cheating before you even got married, sir. You had been sleeping with that guy. That's so disrespectful.
My wife slept with her ex the night of our wedding. I would have never known if her cousin didn't snitch. Hey man, I don't even know where to begin. I've been watching your channel for a while, and honestly, I never thought I'd be the guy writing in. But here I am. My name is David. I'm 35 and I've been divorced for about 8 months now. I'm living in Montana at the moment, out on some land my uncle owns, trying to figure life out again after what happened. So I guess I'll just start with the headline. My wife slept with her ex-husband the night of our wedding. Yep, you read that right. And I would have never known, would have kept living my life like a fool if her cousin hadn't blown everything up during a random argument about Beyonce. Let me rewind. I met my now ex-wife Angela back in 2018. We were both in line at this food truck rally in Dallas. She was loud, funny, the kind of woman who takes up space in the best way. We started talking, and the conversation didn't stop for 5 years. That first date turned into 2, then 3, and before I knew it, we were moving in together. She was the kind of person who made you feel like you'd known her forever. We dated for about 3.5 years before I proposed. I thought I knew everything about her. She had been married before, divorced back in 2015, but she told me it was over, that they were totally done, and he was toxic. I had no reason to think otherwise. I never saw any signs that she was still into him. If anything, she barely talked about the guy. She called him her biggest mistake. I took her word for it. The wedding happened in spring 2023. It wasn't some fancy over-the-top thing. Just family, friends, some food trucks, and a big backyard party at her cousin Tracy's place. Everyone was drinking, playing cornhole, dancing. I thought it was one of the best nights of my life. I thought I had just married the love of my life, but apparently she ended the night in the basement with her ex-husband. Let me explain how it all came out. So Angela's family is real close-knit, big Southern family, lots of cousins, and they all get together just about every weekend. We'd go over to her cousin Tracy's house, play board games, barbecue, talk trash. Her cousin Morgan, who I now consider the only real one out of that entire family, was always around. Morgan's a little younger than us, country girl through and through, big into Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, all of that. One weekend, maybe 7 months into our marriage, we're all playing Monopoly, and Angela and Morgan get into it. Over what? Beyonce. Morgan said something about how she didn't think Beyonce fit in country music. She wasn't being rude, just said it didn't feel authentic to her. Angela took that and ran with it. Started calling her cousin racist, loud, accusatory, real performative. Next thing you know, they're in each other's faces. Angela shouting, Morgan shouting, and I had to step in and physically move them apart. That's when Morgan snapped. She looked right at me and said, "You know what? I'm not keeping your secrets anymore. David, your wife slept with her ex the night of your wedding." In the damn basement. Silence. It was like the whole room stopped breathing. Angela immediately started yelling, "She's lying! Don't listen to her!" She started crying, swearing up and down that it wasn't true, but her hands were shaking. I looked at her, and I just knew. She eventually admitted it. Her exact words were, "It was an accident. I was drunk. I forgot we even got married that day. She forgot. She forgot. I didn't say a word. I grabbed my keys and walked out. I got in my car and just drove. No direction, no plan. I drove until I ran out of gas somewhere outside of Waco. Sat on the hood of my car for hours just staring up at the sky, thinking about our 3-year relationship, thinking about all the things I thought were real. We didn't even have a normal honeymoon. That should have been my first clue. We stayed in town, said we'd celebrate later because we wanted to be around family. What really happened was we went back to her cousin's house where her ex-husband, yeah, I'm going to say his name now, Darnell, just so happened to show up that evening to congratulate us. He even brought a gift, 2 tickets to see Beyonce, front row. You know how you get that sinking feeling? I had it. I didn't like the way he hugged her, didn't like the way he said her name, but I didn't want to be the jealous husband on his wedding day, so I let it slide. Turns out that night, while I was playing dominoes with her uncles, Angela and Morgan said they were going on a store run. Instead, Morgan let Darnell back in through the side door, and Angela met him in the basement. According to Morgan, who spilled the whole thing once she blew up, Angela had already been texting Darnell before the wedding. She wasn't over him. The marriage was supposed to clear her head, help her move on. It didn't. I filed for divorce the following week. No long conversations, no second chances, no counseling. I was done. I packed my things and left Dallas. Came to Montana where my uncle owns some land. It's quiet out here, peaceful. I spend most days fixing up the cabin, feeding the chickens, and just trying to clear my mind. But if I'm being real with you, I don't think I've healed. Not fully. I haven't been the same since. I haven't dated. Haven't even been on an app. I feel numb most days. I smile when I'm around my uncle, but when I'm alone, it's just silence and that deep, sinking emptiness in my chest. I think I'm depressed. You give a lot of guys a space to tell the truth, and I appreciate that. That's why I'm writing this. I needed to get it out. Maybe someone else out there needs to hear it too. Angela texted me once about a month after the divorce papers were finalized. Said she missed me. Said she made a mistake. But the way I see it, cheating is a choice. Sneaking around to sleep with your ex on your wedding night? That's a betrayal you don't bounce back from. After I left that night after hearing the truth from Morgan and Angela's eventual tear-filled confession, everything in my world just kind of unraveled. It was like I had been living in a movie I didn't know was fiction. I didn't cry right away. I didn't scream. I just shut down. Everything went cold. That part of me that believed in love, commitment, family. It shut off like someone hit the breaker switch. When I finally got back to the house 2 days later, Angela was sitting on the porch crying, talking about how we could fix this and how she didn't mean for it to happen. She kept saying it was just a mistake, that she was drunk, that she thought Darnell had truly moved on too, and that they were just talking about closure, but it got out of hand. You don't accidentally fall into the basement, close the door behind you, and have sex with your ex-husband on your wedding night. What bothered me more was how she downplayed it. She was trying to act like it was a one-time, heat-of-the-moment thing, but Morgan made it clear. They'd been texting. There was emotion behind it. She was still emotionally tied to him, and I think she always had been. I was the safe option, the husband she could start a family with, not the man she still secretly longed for. You know what's crazy? I would have never found out if it wasn't for that random argument about Beyonce. I ended up sending divorce papers that week. No long goodbye, no second guessing. I called my lawyer, had everything drafted, and sent them to her job. Her mom called me a coward for not handling it like a man. Her dad said I was throwing away something beautiful because of one night. One night? I didn't even respond to them. I didn't even care that I lost some friends in the process. Some of her family members blocked me like I did something wrong. Her friends on Facebook started posting vague quotes about forgiveness and men not knowing how to handle real women. That's fine. Let them believe whatever helps them sleep at night. What really got to me, though, was my mom's reaction. She cried, not because she was sad for the marriage, but because she knew. She told me she never fully trusted Angela. She said something always felt off about how Angela moved, how she always had a slight wall up. I didn't see it. Love makes you blind. I defended Angela every time. Said my mom just didn't want me to be happy. Turns out she was just being protective. It made me feel like a fool all over again. So I left Dallas. I packed up everything that mattered, mostly clothes, my old journals, some tools, and drove up to Montana where my uncle lives. He owns about 40 acres of land and had a small cabin out back that wasn't being used. Told me I could stay as long as I needed. That man might have saved my life, and I don't even think he realizes it. I've been here for 8 months now. The days are simple. I wake up with the sun, help him around the land, sometimes take the truck out to grab supplies. I've taken up woodworking, built my own bed frame, a desk, and even started carving. It's quiet out here, too quiet some days, but after everything I went through, I'd rather deal with silence than betrayal. But I'd be lying if I said I'm okay. Some nights, the quiet eats at me. I'll wake up thinking she's lying next to me. I'll dream we're back at the wedding, dancing, laughing, and then I wake up and reality punches me in the throat all over again. I haven't been with anyone since her, haven't dated, haven't kissed anyone, haven't held another woman's hand. I don't even think I could. Something about that betrayal broke something in me. You know what really messes with my head? We were about to start trying for kids. We'd even gone to a fertility specialist to get checked out and make sure everything was good. She picked out baby names. She'd look at Pinterest nursery designs at night and show them to me. Wouldn't this be cute for a baby girl? She'd ask. That same woman snuck off to have sex with her ex-husband hours after saying her vows to me. I've gone over that moment 1,000 times. The moment Morgan said it. I can still hear the sound of her voice, the anger, the fire. I guess something in her snapped that day. Maybe she was tired of the lies. Maybe she saw me as a decent man who didn't deserve to be made into a clown. You know what's even crazier? After everything, Morgan reached out again. She apologized for how it came out, but she said she couldn't keep watching Angela pretend. Said the guilt was eating her alive. That Angela had been using people her whole life and that someone needed to stand up to her. I thanked her, and I meant it. I don't know if I would have ever found out on my own. Angela played the role of devoted wife perfectly. She cooked, cleaned, supported my career, laughed at my jokes. She wore the costume well, but that's all it was, a costume. A few months ago, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Angela. Handwritten. 6 pages front and back. She said she missed me, that she's been going to therapy, that she's realized she had unresolved feelings from her past and never should have gotten married when she wasn't fully healed. She said she was sorry, that she'd understand if I hated her forever, but that she wanted me to know she loved me, even if she didn't know how to show it. I didn't respond because I know what would happen next. First comes the apology, then the casual text, then the "can we talk?" And before you know it, I'd be sucked back into the same cycle of forgiving someone who didn't earn forgiveness. No, thank you. These days I keep to myself. I'm not bitter. I just don't trust people the same. I don't believe in the idea of soulmates anymore. I believe in patterns. I believe in choices. And I believe that if someone shows you who they are, even for one night, you better believe them. To the younger men listening, let me say this. Don't ignore red flags just because you're in love. Don't be so desperate to have a wife or a family that you overlook the subtle things. Pay attention to how she talks about her ex. Pay attention to how she handles conflict, how she handles accountability. Love is not enough to keep a marriage alive. Character matters more than chemistry. Also, don't be afraid to walk away. You don't owe anyone your peace. Protect it with everything you have. I've thought about moving back to the city, maybe starting over in a new state. Maybe one day I'll want to date again. Maybe I'll meet someone who's been through what I've been through and we'll find healing together. But for now, it's just me. And I'm okay with that. I'm rebuilding from the inside out. Thanks again for letting guys like me tell our stories. Sometimes just being heard is half the healing. Take care of yourself. And to anyone going through something like this, keep going. There's peace on the other side of the fire, even if you've got to crawl to get to it. Update. She came crawling back again. This time, it was pathetic. Hey man, David again. Wasn't planning on writing you another email so soon, but something happened this past weekend that had me shaking my head so hard I almost gave myself whiplash. After everything I shared with you, the betrayal, the basement, the Beyonce board game brawl, you'd think I'd be done with surprises, but nope. Angela came crawling back, again. Let me break it down. It was Saturday morning. I had just come back from helping my uncle patch a fence post that a bull knocked loose the night before. Just another day of quiet, peaceful living out here in Montana. I hadn't checked my phone all morning, so when I finally did, I saw I had 8 missed calls from an unknown number and 1 voicemail. I played the voicemail. The second I heard the voice, I froze. David, hey, it's me. Please don't hang up or block me. I need to talk to you. Please. It's important. I knew it was her. She always had that breathy, slightly trembling tone when she wanted to play the victim. I didn't call her back. I didn't reply to the follow-up text, but by Sunday morning, I get another message. This one was longer. Here's what she wrote, word for word. David, I know you probably hate me, and I deserve it, but please hear me out. I've made so many mistakes, and losing you was the worst one. You were the best man I ever had in my life, and I took you for granted. I'm not with Darnell. I haven't spoken to him in almost a year. I've been in therapy. I've been trying to fix myself. I don't want anything from you except a chance to say, I'm sorry in person. You didn't deserve what I did to you. I was selfish and broken, and I hurt the one person who truly loved me. I know it's a long shot, but I would give anything just to talk. Even if we never get back together, I just want you to know that I still love you. You ever read something and your whole body just goes cold? Because here's the thing. I used to want to hear her say all that. Back when I was driving around aimlessly after finding out the truth. Back when I was sleeping on my uncle's old couch with tears dried into the pillow. Back when I still checked her Instagram to see if she looked sad. But now it just felt pathetic. She wasn't sorry when I needed her to be. She was only sorry now because she's finally alone. Because Darnell is gone, her family's sick of her drama, and she thought she could come running back to the man she once disrespected so thoroughly it changed his entire outlook on life. But it didn't stop there. That afternoon, I got a knock on the door. I didn't even look through the window. I opened the door, and there she was, Angela, in person. Hair disheveled, no makeup, puffy eyes, dressed like she hadn't slept in days. And for a second, just one stupid second, my heart did that thing where it tried to remember the good times. But my mind remembered the basement. It remembered that broken version of me sitting on the side of the highway, staring at the stars like they had answers. She started crying the second I opened the door, and I mean crying like someone had died. I didn't say anything. She said, I didn't know where else to go. I had to see you. I asked, how did you even find this place? She said, Morgan. Turns out Morgan gave her the address. Said she thought maybe it would give us closure. I'm not even mad at Morgan. She's been trying to clean her conscience too, but still, I wasn't ready for Angela to physically show up on my doorstep. She went on and on, said she moved out of the city, said she was working at some small clinic in Billings, said she had no one left and that I was the only one who ever loved her purely. She said therapy helped her realize she was running from something her whole life, and that when she married me, she thought she could outrun her past. But she didn't. She said she was scared to be truly loved. That part of her wanted to sabotage anything real because she didn't think she deserved it. You know what I told her? I said, Angela, you're not sorry about what you did. You're sorry about where you ended up. That hit her hard. She stood there silent, eyes wide like a kid caught stealing. And I continued, I gave you my loyalty. I gave you my future. I was ready to start a family with you. I trusted you with the most sacred part of my life, and you threw it in the trash on our wedding night. You didn't cheat during a rough patch. You cheated when we were at our peak. She tried to speak, but I held up my hand. I said, I don't hate you. I really don't. But I don't feel anything for you anymore, and I don't owe you a damn thing. You made your choice, and now you're living with it. So please go. I'm not your rescue plan. She cried some more, asked if she could hug me one last time. I didn't let her. I closed the door, and that was it. She sat on my porch for another 10 minutes before I heard her car drive off. I haven't heard from her since. I stood at the window after she left, just watching the empty road. And I won't lie, man, it hit me. Not because I missed her, not because I wanted her back, but because I finally saw her for who she was clearly for the first time. That moment, that was closure. A woman like that doesn't change in a year. She just gets better at playing the victim. I know now that loving someone isn't enough. They have to love you back with the same integrity, the same loyalty, and if they don't, you owe it to yourself to walk away and never turn around. If anyone out there is dealing with an ex trying to come back after betrayal, let me say this. Don't mistake regret for change. Someone missing you isn't proof they've changed. It just means your absence is more painful than they expected. If they didn't value you when they had you, don't give them the privilege of access when they're lonely. I didn't let her hug me because that wasn't closure. That would have been the start of another spiral, a moment of physical weakness that would have led to weeks of emotional confusion. I've come too far to go back now. I've rebuilt my peace, my habits, my mindset. I'm not healed yet, but I'm healing. And I won't let a knock on the door undo all that. Anyway, that's the latest. Appreciate you, brother. Your channel gave me something to hold on to when I was lost. Sharing my story has helped more than I ever expected.